तुल्यशीला वयोवृत्तां तुल्याभिजनलक्षणां राघवोर्हति वैदेहीं तं च इयमसि ते क्षणा भगवन्नारायणाभिमत अनुरूप स्वरूप रूप गुण विभवैश्वर्य शीलाध्यनवतिकातिशय असंख्येय कल्याण गुणगणां पद्मवनालयां भगवतीं श्रियं देवीं नित्यानपायिनीं निरवध्यां देवदेव दिव्यमहिषीम् अखिल जगन्मातरम् अस्मन्मातरम् अशरण्य शरण्यां शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. With horripilations all over his body, Hanumanta had a divine experience, first-hand experience of the Divine Mother. He was elated. The mission is about to be fulfilled. Perched on the Shinchupa tree, Hanuman finally had the glorious glimpse of Mother Sita. As he was about to descend, contemplating on how to approach the mother, all of a sudden, Hanuman could hear drum beats. Hanuman could sense some unusual activity happening early in the day. It was even before dawn, and the sound of the drum beats slowly began to increase, and he could see a huge retinue of Rakshasas approaching Ashokavatika. Hanuman decided to stay back on the tree, hid himself, trying to find out what was going on. He could then see the Rakshasa king Ravana in all pomp and glory entering Ashokavatika. Surprisingly, while the whole of Lanka was still asleep, it was still, the time was before dawn, early in the day. Ravana, while the whole of Lanka was asleep, with all pomp and glory, approached Sita, only showing Ravana's desperation. 10 months had passed, and Sita still remained steadfast, unshaken, relentlessly focused only on Rama. Ravana did not still give up hope, but the wait was really painful for him. Never before had he ever faced such a situation. The embodiment of lust, Ravana, was distressed, knowing that Sita had nothing but disgust for him. Ravana approached Sita, who was seated under the very Shinchupa tree on which Hanumanta was perched. Hanuman could see that Ravana was making one final appeal to Sita. Ravana tried all the tactics, all kinds of tactics. He began praising Sita, describing her beauty. He tried to boast, wooing her, enticing her with wealth, with power, with position. he began to threaten Sita. He started talking ill of Rama. No tactic worked with the mother. She remained steadfast, firm, unshaken. Ravana did not know how to proceed, and he started giving ultimate warnings to Mother Sita, warning her of dire consequences. Hanuman was keen to see how Mother Sita would respond to Ravana's threatening gestures. After patiently listening to what Ravana had to say, finally Sita decided to respond. Tasya tadvachanam shruttva Sita Raudrasya Rakshasaha. Raudrasya Rakshasaha. That horrible Rakshasa. Artha Deenaswara Deenam Pratyuvacha Tadashanaihi. Sita, who was in a pitiable condition, surrounded by all the Rakshasas, Rakshasis, in a sorry state in the Ashoka Vatika, Sita still did not lose hope. She was still firm, and she was convinced that sooner or later her Rama is going to be there to rescue her. Sita responds to this. Valmiki writes, Raudrasya Rakshasaha, the horrible Rakshasa. Dukkarta Rudati Sita Vepamana Tapasvini Chintayanti Vararoha Patimeva Pativrata. The one who is constantly contemplating on only one, Bhagavan Rama. Even amidst all sorrows, filled with grief, she was connected with Rama. Chintayanti Vararoha Patimeva Pativrata Trinamantarat Kritva Pratyuvacha Shuchismita. Shuchismita, when she responded, it seems, to Ravana, Valmiki writes, she had a smile, an interesting smile. It is surprising to know this. The one who is filled with grief, immersed in sorrow, facing unimaginable adversity, when it comes to responding to Ravana, has only a smile on her face. Ravana threatens her, but she is unshaken. The smile, the gentle smile, is an indication of her confidence in Rama, an indication of unshakable faith, an indication of the indicator of self-assurance. And Valmiki says, Trinam antarata kritva. Trinam antarata kritva. Trinam is a blade of grass. As Ravana proceeds towards her, Mother Sita picks up a blade of grass and then throws it in between them, preventing Ravana proceeding further. This is an indication of what she has always been doing ever since she encountered Ravana in Dandakaranya. Right at the very time when Ravana tried to advance, Sita prevented it by throwing a piece of blade of grass. Right in Aranyakanda, we relish that segment, that encounter between Sita and Ravana, where she threw a blade of grass between her and Ravana, which prevented Ravana from advancing further. Since then, Ravana could never venture to touch Mother Sita. He always used the services of all the Rakshasis to pressurize her, to threaten her, to torture her. Now Hanuman realized, looking at this, how Sita was able to prevent Ravana advancing further. Ridamantara Kritva. Mother Sita threw a blade of grass in between her and Ravana. Why did Sita throw a blade of grass? What does this signify? After all, it's just a blade of grass. Different acharyas have relished this in many different ways, and there are several hidden messages in this very seemingly simple act of mother throwing a blade of grass between her and Ravana. In Vedic culture, royal women do not speak to strangers face to face. They always place an opaque screen in between. For Sita, this blade of grass represents that opaque screen. By throwing a blade of grass right in front of him, Sita also categorically sends a message to Ravana. All your wealth, your opulences that you are demonstrating, that you seem to now enjoy, they are all nothing but comparable to a blade of grass. By throwing a blade of grass, Sita also sends a message. A limit had been set. A warning message had been sent. Sita wanted to warn Ravana. Hey, Ravana, you do not realize this. Rama can come from anywhere. You may be thinking that you have the ocean surrounding the island, protecting you, but Rama can come anywhere. Long ago, Bhagavan took the avatar of Narasimha and emerged out of a pillar. The one who can emerge out of a pillar can also emerge out of this blade of grass. So beware, hey Ravana, count your days. By throwing a blade of grass, Mother Sita also wanted to send out a strong message. When Rama is here and when he destroys your Lanka, you would be left with nothing but a blade of grass, hey Ravana. When you encounter Rama, he is going to effortlessly defeat you, and when you fall, you would have nothing but a mouthful of grass. By throwing a blade of grass, Mother Sita also is reminding Ravana of the incident of Vamana, where Vamana used a blade of grass effectively when Shukracharya was trying to prevent Bali Maharaja from sealing his vow with Vamana by pouring water from his Kamandulu. Shukracharya, in the form of a bee, entered the Kamandulu, blocking the water from coming out, and Vamana, using a blade of grass, poked, resulting in the loss of one eye for Shukracharya. Mother Sita is reminding Ravana, even a blade of grass could become a deadly weapon. Hey Ravana, you may not know the Kakasura incident, where Rama just used a blade of grass and transformed it into an astra that was so very deadly that nobody could protect Kakasura. So therefore, this blade of grass can any time transform into a deadly weapon that can bring you down, Ravana. A very stern warning message through a blade of grass. Sita also wanted to remind Ravana by throwing a blade of grass. Hey Ravana, you are no different from an animal that eats grass. You are devoid of any knowledge. You have no power of discrimination. You do not know what is right and wrong. I can only pity you, Hey Ravana. I can only pity you because you are like an animal. She also wanted to tell Ravana by throwing a blade of grass that, hey Ravana, you are threatening me. You are threatening to kill me, but let me tell you, my very life is inconsequential, has no value. I do not really consider my life separated from Rama as greater than this blade of grass. So therefore, do not be under the false assumption that any amount of threat can shake me. Mother Sita is also very compassionate. She also wants to give an advice to Ravana. Hey, Ravana, you must surrender to Rama. And how must one surrender? Not like how a blade of grass surrenders to the ocean. One must surrender like how a fish surrenders to an ocean. There is an ocean of difference between the two. When a fish surrenders to an ocean, the fish knows and demonstrates that it is an integral part of the family, and the ocean protects the fish. But when a blade of grass surrenders to an ocean, it questions its relationship with the ocean. And what happens? The ocean throws the blade of grass, doesn't accept it. So therefore, one must not surrender like how a blade of grass surrenders to an ocean, Ravana. Hanuman also realized that possibly every time Ravana tries to visit and persuade and pressurize Mother Sita always uses the simple tool, a blade of grass, to protect herself. Nothing else is needed for her. Talking about the power of this blade of grass, I am reminded of the legend from Keno Upanishad. It seems all the devatas were celebrating their victory over the asuras. They were all celebrating and they all got carried away. Carried away with pride. The victory over the devatas, over the asuras, with the victory, all the devatas began to consider that they are the ultimate, the strongest, the invincible. And as the celebration was going on, all of a sudden, they could see a yaksha approaching them. The yaksha seemed to be glowing, resplendent. Indra was curious to know who this yaksha is, and therefore he sends Agni Deva, to go and question this yaksha. When Agni goes and asks this yaksha, who are you? And the yaksha calmly responds, who are you? Agni, it was insulting. This was an insulting gesture for Agni Deva. The most powerful Agni Deva could not take this. He immediately reacted and said, I am the greatest of the greats. I am Agni, and I can burn this entire universe. The Yaksha immediately threw a blade of grass and said, I don't know whether you can burn this entire universe. I would like to see you burning this blade of grass. Agni immediately tried with all his might and was shocked that he was unable to do anything to that blade of grass. Accepting defeat, Agni Deva walked back. And then Vayudeva approached Yaksha. Then the same conversation happened, and now Vayudeva took up the challenge of blowing away. He said, I can blow this grass, blade of grass, away from this universe, out of this universe. Vayu huffed and puffed with all his might, could do nothing to the blade of grass. One after the other, all the devatas faced defeat. And then when Indra surrendered to the Yaksha, Yaksha revealed it was none other than Narayana himself, who wanted to test the devatas and show them how they have been carried away with pride. This simple blade of grass, with this simple blade of grass here, Mother Sita is pointing out to Ravana how he is being carried away with pride and committing himself to utter foolishness. Nivartaya manomattaha swajane kriyatam manaha. Mother Sita now speaks to Ravana. Vahamaupa iki bharya parabharya satitava sadhu dharma vekshasva sadhu vratam chara. Ravana, nirvartaya manomattaha. You must first of all get your mind away from me. Do not be like the firefly which is attracted to the fire, jumps in and loses its life. This is exactly what's happening to you. You must focus on your own people, their protection, their well-being. And sadhu dharma vekshasva sadhu vratam chara. You must walk. You must know what is dharma. You must walk on the path of dharma. Do not fail from performing the right conduct. You are the king of Lanka, and therefore you must observe your own conduct. You must walk on the path of dharma, Ravana. Yathatava tathanvesham dara rakshasa nishachara atmanam upamanam kritva. You must be an example, upamanam, to everyone else. You must be protecting your people. You will be protecting your wives, all the people, all the women in Lanka. Instead of threatening me, Ravana, you must be trying to see how to protect. You must be setting the right example here, Ravana. Atushtam sveshu dareshu chapalam chalitendriyam. Now Sita is telling Ravana how he is going, the downfall. What is the reason for his downfall? Atushtam sveshu chapalam chalitendriyam nayanti vikruti prajnam paradhara parabhavam. His parabhava, his downfall. What are the costs for his downfall? Atushtam. One who is not satisfied, ever satisfied, greed. One who is overcome with lust, never content, never satisfied. Chanitendriyam, with disturbed senses, one whose senses are not in control. Nayanti nikriti prajnam, mean-minded, one who covets paradara, somebody else's wife. These are all characteristics for a downfall, and this is exactly what is happening to you, Ravana. Do you realize it or not? Are you an animal not to realize these basics? Where are all the good people in Lanka? Sita is questioning Ravana. Don't you have even one who understands these fundamentals? Where are all the good people? Why no one is advising you here, Ravana? Why nobody is able to convince you? Vacho mithya pranitatma patyam kritam vichakshanaihi rakshasanam bhavaya tvamvana pratipadyase. You are indulging in an unrighteous act, and unfortunately you seem to be unaware that you are indulging in an unrighteous act. You are not seeming to heed to any good advices. Vacho patyamuktam vichakshanaihi. You are not listening to advices of anyone. Rakshasanam bhavaya tvamvana pratipadyase. And you seem to be the sole cause for the destruction of all the Rakshasas. Akritatmanam asadhyam rajanam manameya satam samruddhani vinashyanti rashtrani nagarani cha tatheyam tvam samasadhya lanka ratnoga samuktala aparadha tatvaikasya nachiradvani ashishyati. She says, when a king walks on the path of adharma, all the riches, the wealth diminish. Lanka, which is filled with all kinds of pressure, is soon going to face the same fate. Because of your unrighteousness, Lanka is going to lose everything that it has. Shakya lobhayatum nahamaishwarena thanevava ananya ragavenarham bhaskarena prabhayata. Ananya ragavenarham bhaskarena prabhayata. You cannot separate Sita from Rama. Ravana, you must know this. Rama and Sita are ever united, inseparable. Ananya Raghavenaha Bhaskarena Prabhayata. Like sun and the sun rays, Rama and Sita are ever united, inseparable. So therefore, whatever you can think, whatever you try to do, nothing is going to change this fundamental reality. Ahamopayiki bharya tasyeva vasudhapate pratasnatasya viprasya vidyeva viditatmanaha. Just like how right knowledge belongs to a true Brahmana who, with great effort, with all the sadhanas, acquires that right knowledge. One cannot separate that right knowledge from that Brahmana. One cannot separate Sita from Rama. Sadhu Ravana Ramena Mam Samanaya Kitam. So therefore, realizing my grief due to my separation from Rama, it is your duty, hey Ravana, to unite me with Rama. Mitramopayikam kartum Ramaha sthanam paripsata vadham chanichata ghoram vayaso purushashapa. Sita is very clear. She is compassionate, but at the same time, she also needs to give this warning to Ravana. Hey Ravana, you still have a chance, an opportunity to become friends with Rama. This again shows her compassion. In spite of whatever Ravana had done, the crime he had committed, she is ready to forgive him. Even now, hey Ravana, you can make amends. If you do not do so, hey Ravana, you must know that you are going to face a horrible death very soon. Viditassahi dharmagyaha sharanagata vatsalaha. Tena maitri bhavatu te yadi jeevitumicchasi. Ravana, if you really want to live, there is only one way out for you. Do not waste your time here trying to entice me, trying to threaten me. You still have now an opportunity, a way out. Go and surrender to Rama. He is Sharanagata Vatsala. Viditassahi dharmagyaha Sharanagata Vatsalaha. He will forgive you even now, in spite of the crimes that you have committed. You still have a chance. Surrender to him and save yourself. Prasadayasvatvam chanam Sharanagata Vatsalam ma chasmai niyato bhutva niryayutumarhasi. Niryayutumarhasi. Take this opportunity, go surrender to him, and proactively you unite me with Rama. All your crimes will be forgiven. You return me to Rama. Evam hi te bhavetyassi sampradaya radhuttama anyatatvam hi kurvano vadham prapsasi Ravana. Bhavet swasti. Still you can be fortunate. You can still be blessed. You can still receive Rama's grace, provided you heed to what the advice that I'm giving you now, and immediately make amends and return me to Rama. Vajjaye vajram sashtam vajjaye dantak kaschiram vaditham tunas kruddho lokanatas raghava. Vajrayudha, once the drawn out, the Vajrayudha, the weapon of Indra, may spare someone. The Vajrayudha, once drawn out, can still be stopped. But remember, once Rama picks up his arrow, the arrow can never be stopped. You still have an opportunity to ensure that Rama does not take this action against you. Ramasya dhanusha shabdha shotrasvihita mahasvaraha. Before you can hear the sound of Rama's bow, the twang, which would be a call to destruction, you still have time. Hey Ravana, you still have time. Apaneshyati mam bhakta tvattah shigramarindamaha asurebhyashtam deeptam vishnuhu tribhirivat kramai. You must know, earlier as Trivikrama, he effortlessly measured all the three lokas, taking 3 steps. As Vamana, nobody expected him to effortlessly measure the 3 lokas. One moment he was Vamana, the other moment he became Trivikrama and effortlessly measured the 3 lokas. You may think Rama as an ordinary mortal, is an ordinary king. He is not an ordinary king. He can effortlessly destroy you and everyone who backs you. Hey Ravana. Janastane hatastane nihate rakshasambale. I know that when the entire army that you had in Janastana was effortlessly, single-handedly destroyed by Rama, you were shaken. And that is the reason why, with deceitfully, you abducted me. You have been always dishonest. But this dishonesty is not going to help you, Ravana. Kshipram tavasanatho me Ramaha Saumitrena saha toyamalpamivaditya prananadasya tesharaihi. Soon Rama is going to be here, and just like how the sun can effortlessly dry up all the waters from the ocean. He is going to dry up everything here in Lanka. Lanka is going to be destroyed. You and your army are going to be destroyed. You have now time to make a choice. And I'm giving you that opportunity. And with that warning, Sita pushes back Ravana. And Ravana, not knowing what to do, goes back. And as he goes back, he once again gives instructions to all the Rakshasas. 2 months to go, and instructions are given to somehow persuade, pressurize, threaten, and change mind of Mother Sita. As Ravana walks back, Hanuman, witnessing that scene, he now knows that time has come for him to approach and converse with Sita, introduce himself. And Hanuman now prepares to get down and converse with Mother Sita. Let us relish that glorious encounter between Mother Sita and Hanuman next week. Until then, let us contemplate on the glories of Mother Sita, who demonstrates how to stay firm, steady, committed, connected, rooted in faith, knowing fully well that she is always protected amidst all adversity. Contemplating on the glories of Mother Sita, let us await for that very moment when Hanuman would meet her and give her the good news. Jai Shri Ram.